Welcome everyone to the Authors Forum. This is June the 3rd. This is the special session for the month of June. And like we said, last month was our Authors Forum second anniversary. And Authors Forum is a platform where doubts die and dreams thrive. And this platform exists to really encourage every aspiring author and every emerging author. And the thing about this Authors Forum is we've had several breakthroughs, and we've had a lot of book showers. We call it book showers. We've had opportunity to celebrate new books, new projects, new initiatives, and this is why we do this Authors Forum to inspire someone. Because book writing is a real work, and it's not a day's work. Is something that is doable, is something that is possible. And that's why I want to share with you today something that you can apply, as this is like a bonus coming up and for us all today. So this thing I want about to share with you is very, very important. The difference, what exactly differentiates the dreamers from the doers. And I want us to get it. The thing that distinguish the dreamers from the doers. Somebody said a dream will remain a dream until you wake up to make it real. A dream remains a dream until you wake up to make it real. I know what it takes me, and after writing my first two books, and I experienced 20 years of drought, of not writing a book. And I know the challenge I went through. It was really, really challenging for me. I was stuck for 20 years, not 20 months, not writing a book. So the bottom line about writing is I want to see it as is you owe it not only to yourself, you owe it to your world for writing this book. So because your book is your breakthrough. Your book is your breakthrough. I want to realize that your book is your breakthrough. Writing a book help you become an authority. That's why if you look at the word authority, I mean, the first six alphabet there is an author. That's what writing a book is. See, anybody can speak, anybody can post anything on TikTok, anybody can post anything on YouTube, anybody can do that. But when it comes to writing a book, it takes a lot of discipline to do that. Because your books makes you an authority that others look up to in that subject. And one thing about book writing actually it opens doors for you. There are places that my books have gone to that I've not been there before. And I'm really humbled when somebody take a picture. I mean, someone from South Korea take a picture of my book and send it to me. Someone from India take a copy, I mean, take a picture of my book and send it to me. Somebody from Dubai. It's really humbling. I mean, so it's more than just writing a book. It is something that you give because your content lives on when you have a book. Your content lives on when you have a book. So a book is an incredible platform that lets your legacy lives on. So start seeing a book as just, just kind of like, I'm a published author. No, it's more than that. There's a big gap between dreamers and doers. So I want to show you that how to close that gap. Five things that differentiate the dreamers and doers. Five things. So now these five things, they all start with P. They all begins with P. And the first one is problem. Problem. So in writing your book, you need to think this way that your book is a solution to a specific problem that people are going through. is so important. And that problem must be a felt need. It's not all about what uh, you think is the problem. It's something that you know is the problem based on your awareness, based on your of your commitment to engage people in conversation. Case in point, I'm working on some books now. The first one I'm working on is called TNC, the new competition. And the new competition, the subtitle is Gaining Freedom from the Prison of Comparison. That's the subtitle. And guess what? I did a master class on it last Saturday. I mean, on the book. And after the master class, I know some people attended the master class, they are here today. After the master class, there was a live audience question. And I can see people were saying, oh, this is timely, this is timely. And I knew that this is a felt need. So the first thing that distinguishes between dreamers and doers is dreamers, they they can just talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, but doers, they are really out to solve problem. So that's the first one, the first P. There must be clarity about the problem that you are solving. There must be clarity. For instance, the book I'm working on now, the problem I want to solve is comparison. It's comparison. And I've seen that this is a crisis. And I see people comparing themselves with themselves. In fact, last week, when I was doing the master class, I mentioned the hidden cost of comparison, and I used the acronym comparison. Those are the hidden cost. There's a danger, there's a pressure of it. So it's very, very important. But most of the time, as speakers, as communicators, we just want to solve the problem. But please, before you solve the problem, you need to amplify the problem. You need to talk about the problem. You need to let people know that there's a problem. So that is where to start from. So the first thing that separates the dreamers and the doers is problem. Doers have clarity of the problem they are out to solve. The second P is the people. The second P is people. The second P is people. That means you are called to help. You have to have a clarity about the people that you want to serve with your book. So that people is your target audience. Another thing that they call it is your avatar. Because anytime you are writing a book, you need to have someone in mind. Writing a book is like writing a letter. You must have clarity. There must be clarity about the people. Why? A book that is for everyone is for no one. A book that is for everyone is for no one. So you must be clear. We hosted Dr. Lisa last month. She's here today. She came up with a journal. In fact, interestingly, the title of her journal is The Dreamers and the Doers Journal. I'm happy she didn't say the Dreamers Journal. I'm happy she didn't say that. So it is the dreamers and the doers. So she combined both of them together. And I love the way she did it. It's not just the dreamers journal. So it's the dreamers and the doers journal. So she has a focus. She has a clarity of the people. She did it for the women because she is the CEO of the Dream Women Network. That's a targeted audience. So your book must have a target. There must be clarity about the people that you want to help or you want to serve with that book. So the third P is process. So we've talked about the first P is the problem. You must have a clarity of the problem you want to solve. It must be a felt need. The second P, we talk about the people. You must have a clarity about the people that you want to serve. And the third one is the process that people can follow. So there have to be a process. So what does this mean? This means a framework. There must be clarity of process that others can follow. This is very, very important because at the back of your mind, you must start thinking, what process can you help others with? What process can you help others with? For instance, in my latest book and that I was released last year, June, Unlock Your Power, and Leaders Lead Yourself, Unlocking Your Power with Personal Leadership. The framework for the book is leadership. The book is all about personal leadership. So the framework that I use is leadership. After starting introduction, chapter one and chapter two. So the main thing about the book, the framework is leadership. I gave the framework. So there must be a framework. That framework is the process that you want others to follow. Then the fourth thing is the first thing is also P, is there must be a plan to monetize the book. There must be a plan to monetize the book. That means plan for monetization. And many authors, they don't think about this. I know the main thing I've talked about this, that the main thing about book writing is not just selling, it's not about making it, it's all about serving. But at the same time, it's also important to monetize the book. So there must be a plan to monetize the book. Most authors are using their book to get on stage. Most authors, and so that's a plan. So, I mean, that's a plan. There must be a plan. This is what distinguishes the doers from the dreamers. So, you must have that big picture. Because when you write a book, it gives you an edge over somebody that is yet to write one. So, you can use your book to get on stage. Having a tangible product to monetize your speaking. So it's very, very important to really realize this. So let's go to the last one. The last one is we're talking about platform to market your book. Platform to market your book. So platform to market your book. So you can leverage several platforms. You can leverage social media. You can leverage email list, podcast, TV, radio. All these are platform. And the thing about platform is you can either build your own platform or borrow someone else's credibility. That's why you see when somebody is coming out with a book, they go on tour. It's something I really wanted to do. I've done some, but I've not done it at a level that many people are doing it. But having a system of having that kind of platform is a very, very good thing to think about in the process of planning your book writing. Because the more you get on those platforms, the more you create awareness about the books that you want to write. So I just want to share this with you, and I want you to just think about that. Either you have written a book or you're about to write a book. I want to have this at the back of your mind, knowing that like I said, a dream remains a dream until you wake up to make it a reality. And this is what we do in the Authors Forum. Our goal is to turn your book, your dream book, into a practical reality. So, and let me give you another thought that we can have, something that we can hold on. So another thing I want to give you today, another bonus tip I would like to give out is mistake authors make. I want to share with you the mistakes. These are the mistakes that authors make in the course of book writing. So one of the first mistakes that authors make is writing whenever you are inspired. So people just think that, oh, I will only write when I'm inspired. That is a common mistake. And I want to share with you a quote that will really help you. This quote is from a lady called Madeline Lee Ingle. She said, inspiration usually comes during work rather than before it. He said inspiration usually come during work rather than before it. So if you wait to be inspired before you write, you're not going to write anything. Somebody said inspiration exists, but it must find you working. Inspiration exists, but it must find you working. So that's one of the mistakes that people make, when they want to write book, that so stop waiting to be inspired. So, well, then what should I do? If I thought someone needs to wait to be inspired before they can write. No, 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 no. What you need to do, you need to create a routine. You need to create a routine. Now, this is what Steve Harvey talked about routine. Steve Harvey said a strong routine is not about productivity. It is about identity. So what you need is to create a routine. A strong routine is not about productivity. It's all about identity. So what do I mean by this? You see, when you have a routine that, okay, I'm going to commit maybe 3 days a week for my book writing. That is a routine. Either you are inspired or not. So it's not about your level of productivity. That means you are creating an identity as an author. I'm going to write. As an author, I'm going to write. And in the course of doing that, since you have an established routine, it becomes an identity. Like I said, inspiration exists, but it must find you working. Inspiration does not come before action. It comes when you choose to take action. So another common mistake that authors make is writing first and marketing second. That's another common mistake that authors make. They want to first of all write the book, then I will think about marketing later. And now you see, when I had this, what I'm sharing with you is something I just learned from a professional, and this is what I'm doing different right now with the current book I'm writing. And this is what I just learned. You need to market your book as you are writing it. How do you do that? You see, let people know you are writing a book. That's what I'm doing at the moment. Last week, I publicized a masterclass that I'm doing a masterclass, and a part of the publicity is on my new book. So what am I doing? I'm letting people know that I'm writing a book. I'm creating that awareness. In fact, people are already greeting me, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Listen, I'm not finished the book. I'm in the process. So let people know you are writing a book. Another thing I did that was released like 2 days ago was a survey. I came up with a Google survey. And the Google survey that I came up with, it's something that will really help me with the book. And I sent a survey to a lot of people that and I did an introduction that I'm working on my new book project. I really appreciate your help with this survey for the book. So let people know you are writing a book. So when you do that, you are bringing people into the process. You are bringing people into the process. You are letting them into the process. So this is the second common mistake that people make, that they want to write the book first before they now talk about marketing the book second. No, you need to market your book as you are writing it. So when you are informing people about a book you are working on, you are actually marketing the book. The third common mistakes that authors make is writing your book without a monetization plan. Listen, I've made this mistake before. That's why I know it very well. Writing your book without a monetization plan. So it's so important to, like I said, you need the part of the monetization plan is, like I said, you are really giving clients an early exclusive access. This are the monetization plan that I'm putting in place right now. You're giving clients early and exclusive access into your book content before anybody else. So you can choose to really say, oh, okay, that based on my new book, I would like to give I mean the clients that you have, I want to give you early access. Everybody always wants to be the first person to get something. Another thing is Monster Plan is using the book as a research to get feedback. I'm actually doing that now. As I'm sending the survey I'm doing on my new book, I've already created a logo. I've created a concept. All these things are really strategies that can be used for monetization. So I want to leave you with this thought, and our guest author is going to join us anytime from now. So please, I want to get a feedback from what I just shared, because your book isn't a hobby; it's a vehicle for your calling. Don't forget, your book is not an hobby; it's a vehicle for your calling. So it's so important to know. So what stood out to you from what you just heard? Let's please, I want you to really feed in. Please, I want the feedback from what I just shared with us right now. Feedback. I believe we all can contribute. Let's contribute to this conversation before our author is being introduced. And let's contribute to this conversation. So, what stood out to you from what I just shared out of those 5 P's? You can put it in the chat. And if you would like to speak, why not? You can you can unmute yourself and come on
Yeah.
or spotlight you. So,
Hi,
what?
Dr. Mike.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Dr.
I
Ayon. Okay.
yes. I just want to out of the different pieces that you mentioned,
Yes.
right, is really, really having a plan,
Yep.
right? Apart from knowing the problem that you are solving,
Yep.
knowing the people you are addressing, and having a process that people could follow. The fourth one is the plan for monetization. And I think it also ties in into the platform for marketing.
Yes.
Can
It's
you
connected.
elaborate more, right, on the plan for monetization? I know that you mentioned maybe using it as a research or things like that, but can you elaborate more on monetization plan?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Now, when we talk about monetization plan, is like now this is a very very important question, and I want everybody to pay attention to this. You see, at times when you are being asked to speak, and people doesn't want to pay you, they are just looking for a speaker that will just come, because some speaker even pay before they can speak. I mean, that's interesting. Some speaker will pay just to be on that stage, to get in front of an audience. But this is one thing I learned from my mentor, Elizabeth McCormick. There are times in which when you have to speak, so you can say, okay, I'm not charging for my speaking, but if your association can buy my book, I'll be glad to speak for free. Does that make sense, Dr. Ayo?
Yes.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so let's say your book is, in fact, my current book now is $25. And you have 1,000 people in that association. And I say, okay, what if you order for a copy each for all the people in the association, and I will just come and speak for free? Now, you can't do that if you don't have a book. You can only do that when you have a book. In fact, this is what this man did, Malcolm Gladwell. He did it with the Maxwell leadership. He didn't charge the Maxwell leadership. So he was able to come to speak for free, but the guarantee is they will buy his book. And they did. So this is a very powerful key that many people are not even thinking about, because he's looking at the process that, okay, let's say you have 2,000 people there, and each person right there buy the book. And guess what? It's not only the money that is going to make from the book. Do you know that when people buy your book, it's not all about the money that you make? You have more advocate for that book. Because when they hold that book, somebody will see the book and gets to know. So you are creating followership, you are creating awareness. Case in point, last month, I had an epiphany. Somebody that I bought my book before, Is a bishop of a church. He's also a Maxwell leadership and coach, speaker, and trainer. He lives in Washington, and North Carolina. So it was on a Good Friday, which was really good for me because he sent me a text message that he was reading my book, that he couldn't just stop reading it, that the book is so good. I was wondering that you bought this book since last year. How come you are just reading it? He said he decided to lead himself, and he now thought about my book. He said he's going to buy the book for his new ministers and all that. Guess what? Last month, he ordered for 13 copies. In fact, I encourage him to order from me instead of going to Amazon. I said I'll give him discount because as an author, if you publish on Amazon, you can buy author's copy. So if you buy one copy from Amazon, it's $25. I said I'll give you a discount. So out of the 13, I gave him $50 discount. He will have paid $325 to Amazon. So he sent me, he zelled me $275, which was still good. And I shipped it to him $16. But guess what? I had the privilege to autograph. He told me to autograph each of the book. I make it personal. Now, one thing I was aware of is this. As the book gets to those people, apart from that bishop, more people will get, because in front of that book is my face. More people will get to know, oh, who is this person? They will get to know me, and they will go and Google about me to know more about my other books, which they can also buy. So when you are selling a book, you are not just only selling a book, you are creating more awareness about your product, about your brand, what you can do. So that is the what we call the plan to monetize. Dr. Ayo, really get that? If anybody catch that, can you just put it in the chat? If you
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you so much.
you
Thank
see
you.
how much it makes sense. So
Mm-hmm.
because there are so many opportunities, because you are saying, well, I'm not charging you for speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I'll speak for free, and on the condition that all your members will get a copy of my book. I
Yes,
tell you,
yes.
at times it's even more than when they pay you. It's more than
Mm-hmm.
what they pay you. I remember I got a contract 2 years ago. Part of the contract, I put my book that as part of, and they bought. I sold the book as part of the contract. And my mentor has encouraged me, Miss Elizabeth McCormick. He said I can do that. He said, Michael, you have a lot of book, you can do that. So I'm going for a training next week. So that training I'm giving them a complimentary copy of my book. Why? I want to create my awareness. They're already paying me for that day, but I'm giving them as a complimentary. So the point is, you can do that. I want to see your book as a seed. And anytime you plant a seed, it's going to germinate. Dr. Dakpo, welcome
Yeah.
after a long after a long
Yes.
break, vacation.
You 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 can say that again. I'm so happy and
And
excited to be
you know what?
here.
I'm
I
challenging
took a
you.
break.
I'm challenging you before this of this global audience that what next after writing your first book? We don't want
Okay,
to be
okay,
a
okay.
one-hit wonder.
No way, man. No way.
So what
Actually,
what
the
part stood out
manuscript.
to you today? I know you've been doing a lot of surgery. For your information, Dr. Dakpo is an ophthalmologist and eye surgeon.
Yeah.
So tell us what stood out to you from what you just learned that you will do differently in your next book.
Yeah. What stood out for me is the plan to monetize the book.
Yeah.
Reason is that, when I wrote my first book, I only focused mainly on getting the book out.
Hmm.
And after getting it out, then there was that struggle to get it to people's hands.
Hmm.
And, that became a challenge because I didn't have my eyes on the ball when
Hmm.
I started.
Yeah.
So that also now made me to slow down on writing more because I told myself,
Hmm.
I need to ensure that, I monetize what I've done.
Yeah.
And something interesting happened in my trying to monetize it. Sometime last year, a few months after I was in Zimbabwe for
Hmm.
a conference of other eye surgeons, And I think I went with like 20 copies.
Mm.
And, I was able to get all of them so fully sold.
Mm.
I know I will have sold in Naira, but I sold in dollars
Wow.
because other people came from other African countries,
Countries. Yeah.
So, so that gave me more idea. And I
Mm.
have another conference next week. So I'm
Mm.
already going with more books.
Yeah.
And between then and now, I've sold quite a number of them. But,
Yeah.
if I had it at the back of my mind, the
Mm.
monetization something, then
Yeah.
I will have done far better than I did.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that part you
Yeah. Yeah.
mentioned.
Wow. Wow.
And
You're
then
welcome.
quickly,
Yeah.
quickly to save time, you mentioned what I was doing. I already have the manuscript for my second book, but I told
Oh,
myself,
congratulations, sir.
yeah, thank you. But I told myself I must fully, dispose of this one I've written before I start another one. And that's having my eyes on the ball this time around.
But sir,
Thank
can I
you.
say something, sir? You don't have to fully dispose the first one. And
Yeah, yeah,
this is the reason why I'm saying that, sir. Because, and I'm glad you are sharing this because I actually saw you. I saw you. I track you a lot. I saw you when you went to Zimbabwe and all that. Yeah, I do track people. But I love what you are sharing because what we are talking about, and this is the practicality of this forum, is a forum that we can share
yeah.
some secrets with each other. Because what you are sharing is very important because you are working on your second book. And I want you to know that you can leverage this experience uniquely because you don't have to wait till you finish selling your first book. Because as you are doing your
Yeah,
second book
yeah.
now, guess what? People will now
Mm,
know that you are a serious author, that you are not just a one-hit wonder, that you are disciplined enough to do
yeah,
another one. But the good news is you are now
yeah,
putting in the lesson you have learned. And this is what
yeah.
makes this unique. I tell you, I was learning all these secrets after writing 12 books. I wish I knew this
Mm,
before I did my first one. But one thing I'm learning now is how can I apply this? But the good news is if you do this well, with my new book now, people will get to see all the work I've done. So that's what we call leverage. You can now
yeah,
leverage anything you
yeah,
have done before this so that people will get to see that, oh, so
yeah.
that's why another thing I want to show you right now is there's a book I'm reading right now. It's called Fascinate. This book talks about how to make your brand impossible to resist. So what I learned from here
Mm,
that I'm not okay, our guest author is here now. What I learned from this book is whenever I want to write a new book now. I've not done this in any of my book. This author, this is what he did. And some authors are doing this. They will said they will have a page also by the author. They will write all the books they have written before on a page before that title. So I've never done this in any of my book. So in my new book now, I'm going to write also by Dr. Michael Koku. I'm going to list all the books I've written so that when people say that, oh, this book is really good, that means the rest, I'm going to go and get it. So that's what you
yeah,
can leverage.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dakpo. We really appreciate you. Please don't be far from this forum. Yeah. So we have our guest
Okay.
author is right now here. Dr. Yanick Hicks is a doctor of pharmacy.
You're,
I
you're,
call
you're, you're the real doctor. I mean, look, you have all the suit and the tie. I mean,
Dr. Yanick Hicks is a former drug
doctor,
dealer.
doctor
Is a former
extraordinaire.
pharmacist. So
Hey.
we've been waiting for you, sir, and we are glad you came. And
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we are glad you came. So without wasting time, we're gonna engage you. I mean, look, people love you. They have been right here waiting for you. Can you imagine?
Oh, appreciate, man. I'm seeing my people, man. Dr. Ayo, Lisa, Remy, that's you, Grace, Sherman,
Okay.
Tammy, Emmanuel, Dr.
So can you
Wow.
introduce yourself to people that didn't know you? Let them get to know you. Yeah.
Oh, hello everyone. Sorry, I had another meeting. But my name is Yannick, and basically, of course, he mentioned origin from Cameroon, pharmacist background, and Oh, thank you, Dr. Ayo. Yeah. I have a doctorate in pharmacy, and um, about 2013, 2013, 2014, I had the calling like John for leadership. Like my calling is leadership. Leadership is my love, leadership, my life, my passion. So even when I was in pharmacy school, I was seeing myself speaking around the world rather than just be a pharmacist and writing books and great. I mean, I can't even imagine that I'm an author with all of, the people. Sometimes I look at the book, I was like, is this me? I'm encouraged now. I'm actually writing my second book.
Oh,
It just takes that one. That's what you just need. That's why just getting that first step, I'm telling you, because I've been procrastinating. All right. I've been procrastinating, especially when it came to book for years. And now, of course, we have AI. And now I just, I write every day. I write every day. But
wow.
yeah, being in this, part of Maxwell leadership, August will make me 9 years full time, over 7 years. Um, yeah, just
Mm.
this is my
Wow.
love. This is my life. I wake up
Wow.
every day
Wow. Okay,
ready to
let's
go
let's let
change
let's
the world. Be like Dr. Michael Koku, be a change maker.
you know
We
what?
got
What one thing
Yeah,
about
we got to
one
stay
thing about
fired
being with
up,
you.
right? That's the main thing. Stay fired up.
One thing about Yannick is this. There's some leaders that you'll be with that you're gonna learn, and there are some leaders that you're gonna be in that you'll not just learn, you're gonna laugh. With Yannick, you're gonna get both. A lot of learning and a lot of laughing. So the question we want to ask you, because
Yeah.
the little thing I know from you, the reason why you are a very practical leader, and for everyone that doesn't know, Yannick and I call him coaching too. Yannick is like a coach to me. He has
Mm.
mentored me into great things. In fact, there's a contract I got next that I'm going there to do the training. I got that contract based on what Yannick taught me.
Mm.
And I got a contract 2 years ago, $20,000. It was based on what he taught me. So he has been a big blessing to my life. And I was so excited when he came out with his book. So the first question I'm going to ask you right now is, what problem did your book solve? We just talked about the 5 things that distinguish dreamers from doers. This book that you just wrote, you can tell us the title first and tell us
Mm.
what problem did your book solve? And who is the one reader you kept in your mind's eye while writing it? So that was our first 2P. We've talked about the problem and the people, clarity about the problem, clarity about the people, the avatar you want to serve. So this question
Yeah.
based on what problem did your book solve, and who is the one reader you kept in your mind's eye while writing the book? Thank you.
Wow, powerful question. By the way, Dr. Kuku, I would like to appreciate you because you're an incredible leader. You see, I'm a decent coach, but you're a practitioner as well, and
Thank you.
I'm just
Thank
so
you.
grateful for who you are and your success. As a matter of, you learn from everybody. I remember when you came down in Georgia, it's like, Yanni, you should publish a book. You should. So you encourage me, right? You encourage me, and it's like now I'm traveling tomorrow to Austin. I'll definitely get my book sold there. We've already done pre-order. And then when I go to another conference in Austin, from Austin, I'll go to Missouri, getting the book, So you encouraged me, and now getting those books now try to get in every keynote contract. But as far as it's really good because I mean the problem solved, right? This is my first book, and so yeah, a lot of work to be done, right? Um, the first thing is I think narrowing my niche to healthcare,
Mm.
right? So I'm always having that's why my next book is called From Prescription to Purpose, right? I mean, it's kind of going, but I so my target or avatar is her healthcare, and that's where I've decided to focus on. And the top three problems that I really solve now, my number one problem I solve is retention. Working with a lot of these healthcare organization, I see that, hey, and then workforce stability, and most of them experience workforce, challenges because they're understaffed, mini-max, doing more with less. So they have a lot of workforce challenges and then, retention. And then employees are not just engaged, which was what I experienced when I was working in pharmacy. I mean, when you don't see any meaning in your work or you're not engaged, you're disconnected, you're disengaged. So I experienced that. So now I can be able to share my experience and be able to relate with them because that's what they're experiencing. That's what they're going through. Sorry for the distinct noise, but I focus on healthcare. I mean, now, with this book, it was more maybe emerging leaders, but now it's really senior healthcare executive. I try in healthcare space, healthcare executives is my target market that I really focus on. But the main issue that I solve is retention.
Wow. So you see, wow. We now have the two piece. We have the clarity of the problem. It solved the issue of retention, and then the people are people in healthcare. That was a great one. So the next question I want to fear stopped you from writing? Because I know someone like you, a great leader, you should have read
Yeah.
since Winston Churchill was born. And what fear almost stopped you from writing this book? And what did you did? Tell us what you did that make you to overcome that fear.
I mean, I think the fear of writing books is just like, man, when you just see like a whole book is like, it's so much that it's just overwhelming. That's why like everything, you just have to break it down, right? Little by little. Because when you see even the books that we have from John Maxwell, some of the other, you just think about like, I've always had this goal of writing a book, but it's like, how do I get started? How do I even get started? I mean, it's so much. Do I how do I start? How do I go about making all this stuff? All those things that were causing me to procrastinate and putting it off. And then another thing that was making me put it off, like, man, I gotta make money. I gotta focus on action. Like, I don't have time to sit down and be writing. Like, I gotta go to the networking event. I gotta speak. Then the fact that I have like a team, right? I got two people that are kind of, working on my team. And I think it kind of allowed me to have time because, all this administrative stuff that I don't like to do, or, I have zero C. Maybe in the next life, I'll have a little bit of C in the this, but I don't think I can take this a million times. There is, I have zero C, zero. Wow. Okay. Somebody was going through smart sheets today with me, and she was so passionate. I was thinking about it afterwards. I was like, if you know how disinterested I am in this stuff, like, God knows. But anyways, let's come back to it. Sorry, I divert. You guys can tell, man.
That was needful. It was needful because not everybody's like Coach Remy. Coach Remy, she has a strong C, So.
Oh, really? Shoot. As a matter of fact, say, hey, I gotta surround myself with C's and
yeah.
But anyway, so what I decided to do is I decided that every day I'm gonna write, I'm gonna journal. Every day, even if it's going to be 10 minutes, 5 minutes, days that, I wake up disciplined, but those days that I wake up late and stuff like that, I would just say, hey, even if it was 2 minutes or 5 minutes. So just making myself writing every single day and journal. So now I journal, things in my personal life to get me with self-awareness, but I would just take a little piece and just write a little bit about, just a little bit every single day. I would just block out, in my morning ritual, right? When I wake up early in the morning, I wake up at 4. Dr. Koku wakes up like 2 a.m. I mean, like 2 when I see, I'm like, this guy is waking up at 2 something. That's like 10 books. I'm like, you, I thought I was waking up at 4. I thought I was early. Wow. But yeah, it's like how many books? I'm like, so in my morning ritual, like even today, going to my second book now, just blocking out time every day to write something little. I think just that that discipline, that consistency, just breaking down, even if it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes, so
Yeah.
it doesn't look overwhelming. And and then I'll just
Breaking.
write. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter the first draft, and then you can
That's
come
good.
back to it.
And in fact, we just spoke about this before you came. People that, according to a quote, inspiration does not come before you take action. It comes when you are taking action. Yeah, but you
Mm.
mentioned something about procrastination. Can you speak to leaders on this platform that are having these procrastination issues? And how did it affect you? And how were you able to deal with it? Because I did 8 pitfalls of book writing. It's a
Yeah.
content. And one of those things I mentioned is the top two pieces are perfectionism and procrastination. So can you speak to this procrastination and how you are able to overcome it?
Yeah, procrastination is a hard thing, right? So one of the things I have in my bedroom is my vision board, right? So I have my vision board of my goals, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. So I try to look at my vision board every day. So today was one of those days where I woke up late, right? I wake up, of course, on time, but we're human. So today was one of those days. So I was like, well, I should just kind of skip my reading. And then I went on my vision board. I have it on there to be a New York Times bestselling author. That was enough for me to come like, hey, let me just write 5 minutes. If I'm going to be a New York Times bestselling author, I got to do something today. So having your vision in front of you at all times will be that inspiration. Like I
Mm,
said, don't tell me about your problems. Tell me about your dreams. Dreams are the solution to your problem. Like
mm,
have your dream there so that in those days when you're discouraged, you want to procrastinate, you can just and be encouraged. I mean, for some of you, your inspiration, like on my phone, I have like picture of my mom, my younger cousin, the people that are my why, that makes
mm.
me get inspired on what it is that I mean, the days when I don't feel like it, the days when I want to procrastinate. So the key to procrastination is just break it down. Just say, hey, do the 2 minute rule, right? Just start with 2 minutes. two
Keep
minutes. Maybe
going.
if you wanna be reading and you're
Mm,
not reading every day, you can, I'll just have my book. Maybe I mean I read every day, right? But just have your book in your bed when you want to go to bed, right? It's right there. You just say, hey, 2 minutes. The key is just doing the 2 minute rule and just say, hey, I'll just do 2 minutes. That's enough to be able to, sorry for the noise in the back. That's enough to be able to get you to build the momentum. Just start with
mm.
2 minutes and then you won't be able to procrastinate because it's so easy to procrastinate.
Wow,
But if you
that's good.
say, you can do something in 2 minutes, that
Mm,
would be enough. Just do the 2 minute even for 30 days. And then that will give you the motivation to not procrastinate and get, that's how I've been
yeah.
able to do at least some of the things.
Yeah, my last question for you, because what we normally do is we open up for the live audience to ask you a question, and they are really eager to. My last question is, what accountability system help you to finish this? A partner, a coach, a community, deadlines, and what should an aspire up in the next 7 days that can also help them? What accountability system did you set up that help you? And how can aspiring authors do that? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the main thing is it's kind of setting, I was talking to a
Uh,
guy. Yeah, I was talking to a guy this week and he was wanting to, he's writing his book and he wanted to get some advice as far as my book and things like that. I said the first rule of anything in any book is finish the book. Apart
mm,
from that, everything else does not matter, right? Well, so the accountability is I set a goal that I was going to get my book published. The accountability system for me, it just comes with my why. Like nobody in my family has ever written the book, right? Nobody it's just like I want to be. For me, it's like being a pioneer in my family, like John talked about. Being a pioneer, leading the way. My nephew. I see him as the next. I'm very big on legacy because my grandfather is my inspiration. The book is really, I mean, mentorship is like how my grandfather mentored me. I mean, my grandfather is my inspiration and stuff like that. So the accountability was just looking at my why and, I mean, it goes back to purpose and why. and I said, "Hey, I want to be able to leave a legacy for my family. I want to be able, so I've got to get this done." That
Wow,
inspired me.
that's awesome.
And
Wow.
then
So
to hear my little
let's have a
nephew
live
said,
question
"Okay,
now. Yeah.
mm,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah." Hey, Tammy. Hey, Tammy. Yeah. So that's yeah. Kuchito, you asked some really great question, man. I didn't know.
If you have a question for Yannick and you would like to ask him, you can turn your video on and we're going to add you to the spotlight. So to ask your question, because it didn't really come here on time. So I was doing the teaching to really help us. But if you have a question, you can put it in the chat, or more likely, if you like to come on board, we're going to spotlight you. And Coach Temi said, "Don't tell me the problems, tell me your dreams. They are the solution to the problems." That was a big quotable quote. Coach Grace said, "Hey, Yannick, thanks for sharing." Okay, who
Hmm.
has a question, please? Anybody have any
Hmm.
question? I've shortened my question so that anybody can ask a question. Live audience, you are free. You have the
Hmm.
privilege. It is being recorded, but for the live audience, they have the privilege to ask live questions. So if you have any question, you can and put on your video and we can spotlight you. Yeah, quick
Hmm.
question. Yeah. Anybody, please make sure you put your hands up so that I can find you to spotlight you. Any
Great,
question, please?
great to see you.
Any question for Danik? And I still have loads of questions, but I want to give the audience also an opportunity because we normally finish on time because some people are joining from different part of the world and they are joining us late. Any question, please, from the
I
live
have a
audience?
question. Hi,
Okay,
Koku,
Dr.
Yanick.
Ayo,
How are you?
and thank you for
Hey,
covering
Dr.
your face.
Ayo.
Thank you for covering your face.
Fine, yeah. I have a question. Okay, so when Dr. Michael came on, he mentioned a few mistakes that people make in writing the book. But for you, what were the pitfalls that you would say one should avoid while writing or marketing or speaking when you've authored a book? What are those pitfalls one should avoid?
Okay, pitfalls to avoid when writing a book.
Yeah, either during the process of writing, marketing, or by the time you're marketing or you're speaking about your book, what are those things? Maybe it's too much. You can pick one of those three.
No, no. I mean, for me, like I said, the first thing, like I didn't think about how I was going to sell the book, but now I'm selling the book, right? I'm going to speak. I'm going to speak, and I already got it. Then I'll go to this other conference now. So I think the first stage is finish the book, right? Finish the book before. I mean, for me, I know they said, maybe think about or how the person is going to market. I think for me, it was just, I mean, the excitement, like, wow, I'm an author. Can you imagine? I seen a book with my name on there, Yannick, Dr. Yannick Hicks. This is a dream. Yeah, I could buy my own book. I, I didn't really care about somebody purchasing my book, honestly. I just I wanted to get the book out because the first one is the hardest, right? You don't say you're not good the first time, but once you get it now, I've learned from that experience. So one thing I would say, learning from my book experience is, um, like I didn't really do a lot of like when I didn't really do a lot of like drafts. Like when I did the first draft and stuff like that, I probably should have done maybe even two or three drafts to really, make to improve the book. Would have probably had more people edit and review the book. Those are some of the things that in the next book will be different. So more people to review the book. And then another thing is, um, so now I'm taking I wouldn't say taking my time a little bit, but I'm really letting the thought. So I'll probably go through the content that AI has given me, and then I would, maybe pray on it and ponder. And sometime I'll go for a long walk to really think things through and before I write. And then I won't just be quick. Like I was just quick. Like I'll probably stay now on a particular, let's say, not a topic, but yeah, maybe a topic or a line. Like let's say, purpose drive comfort or something like that, I'll
Yeah.
probably allow myself some time. And then now it's like when let's say I attend Sunday service or maybe I attend a conference and there is something that they're talking about purpose, I'll be very engaged. Now I'm looking for other ideas from people that I'm learning from that I can be able to write it in the book, right? So those are some of the things that I'm learning more, like, be always gathering ideas from other people that are and then I would say maybe expand a little bit more on subject and then give more stories, personal stories, and sometimes listening stories into the book. But for me, it's
Wow.
finish the book, and
Wow.
then we'll figure out about
Yeah.
marketing and all the
Yeah.
other
Well,
things.
I mean, and Yannick, and I really got your point because and I want to say this openly. Yannick is such a great friend, and my wife is here. She can hear me. She knows what I'm about to say. Yannick speaks a lot, and I told Yannick, you speak so much, and if you have a book, I'm selling it, and this is what is happening right now.
Yeah, so thank you. Yeah. So now it's one of the add-on. So if
Yeah.
there's opportunity, even if I have an opportunity that is not even a keynote, it's a breakout session, I can be able to sell my book. I mean, one of the things I even looking to probably do next even is create an online course because there will be some particular group I'll be like, man, $97 for the organization, and then they're paying that every month. Like, and then even with the book, now I'm going to this conference, and then now I go to another conference. And then if I feel like this, now I can be able to sell my books and
Yeah.
all these
Yeah.
conferences and stuff. So thank you for giving me opportunity for extra income. So
Thank
now I don't
you.
have to only look at the keynote speech. I can get, I don't know, $500 to people buying the book. I mean, I can't
Yeah.
imagine I'm actually signing people's book. Can you imagine? Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we have a lot of growth.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
And this
lot
is
of
very
work to be
important.
done in the
Yeah,
book.
Yannick, you remember the meeting you came in Georgia that bought it for all the members. So what if I didn't take any book with me? So one of the beauty of having a book is whenever you have an opportunity to speak, you can market your book. You already have an audience. You can put it. I've put my book in the contract before. So there are so many things we've talked about today. Yannick, we want to say thank you for your time. And it's been a great one of the things that Yannick just talked about. I want to really highlight it is um, about the process of taking time to develop his thoughts. Let me just share this three-step process I learned from Dr. John Maxwell of recent, that he used to develop his material. He said the first thing he does is, I call it 3Ds. So the first thing is when you are developing your content, the first thing is develop it. You develop it. So what do you mean by develop it? Developing a content, he said, takes a lot of time for creativity to happen. And development is like incubation. So you are incubating continuously the content, what you want to produce. He said at times it might take over a month. That's what I'm doing now with my new book. I've carried that book, The New Competition, Gaining Freedom from the Prison of Comparison. I've done a masterclass on it. I think about it every day. So that is what development is. It's incubation. It's a crock-pot process. You see, you know where you are going and you start putting things together. You create an idea farm before you. So don't think about this is the problem that many people do. Creation is the first process. In the place of creation, don't bother about editing. So the first thing you want to do is start putting things together before you bring them together. So many times you want to put it together and bring them together. No, they don't have to be connected. Just put it together. So that is that first phase of development. Because creativity can never be rushed. There's no such thing like cramming and being creative. That's what Dr. John Maxwell said. So, and that is the first thing you do. The second process is deliberate it. Deliberate it. He said this is the part that many people missed. He said take time to let it soak into you. Marinate correctly on that idea. He said when you don't deliberate a message, you surcharge the people that you want to serve with the message. He said, but when you get a thought at the beginning, it is never a matured thought. It is never a matured or a complete thought. He said, you get a great thought by having time to work on it. And these are the questions you begin to ask yourself, how will I say it? How will I deliver it? What does that mean to me? How does that change me? How does that affect what I'm doing? And how will it affect the people I want to serve? He said, the longer you have with the thought, the better the delivery. He said, deliberate. When you deliberate upon it, it brings some maturity to that thought. He said, there's creativity that comes from the developing part. That's the first part. But this deliberation part brings maturity. So the first part, which is development, brings creativity. The second part, which is deliberated, brings maturity. He said the last part is the easiest part. Deliver it. He said if you can do the first two parts, develop it very well, which is the creativity, and the second part, the maturity. He said delivery is the easiest. He said you can deliver it with great security and confidence if you had time with the first two steps. Delivery part is just the easy part. I tell you, if you take these 3 Ds with you and run with it, it will help you a lot. Don't forget, develop it. That is creativity. And that takes a crock-pot process. The second process is deliberate it. In that deliberation, you are even asking people, because shared thinking is life-changing. You are asking, that's what I'm doing now. I'm asking people about, I'm writing about comparison. My wife just finished reading a book and said, oh, I can get something right here. So, and that is the last one, deliver it. So we want to say thank you to all the live audience. Thank you for everyone. I want to say thank you to our guest author, and Yanick, thanks for coming. Thank you for your time. This video recording will be available as soon as we are done. Next month, we're going to be having another guest author. We're going to be having Coach Emmanuel all the way from UK. He has written 3 books, and we'll be having him live with us. Dr. Yanick, do you have any closing comments before we leave? Thank you, sir.
No, just thank you very much, Coachinto, for the opportunity. I take great delight, the amazing work, and the audience, seeing Remy, Lisa, Dr. Ayo, Sherman, Grace, Tammy, and all of you, and yeah, on this journey, let's just stay fired up. That's all I can end with. Stay fired up.
Thank you so much, everyone. Again, thank you all. See ya.